Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Elias and welcome back to UniversIO. It's been a bit. Last episode we were working with the Gorgamillis and as such getting some Farmer's Delight set up so that we can make good foods for the Gorgamillis. And yeah, it didn't work as well as I thought. So basically the problem is we have really good foods that we can make with Farmer's Delight and our different seeds that we have. However, the bad part is if a Gorgamillis eats two foods in a row, it starts to get less mana. It produces less mana, diminishing returns. That's what the phrase I'm thinking of. However, that is completely negated if you just feed it something else. So we can't necessarily automate that, but it's still a really good mana producer. And so we're going to keep with that for now. So yeah, this series has been on a little bit of a break because I really don't know how to continue. I need levels so that I can enchant so that we can go fight the dragon. But as you can see by my levels, I don't quite have that yet. So I do have a few things that we need to do, and I've been very busy in this series, or in this world, I should say. And yeah, I've built basements. So down here we have a big basement, lots of space, and what we're gonna probably do is have all of the crops and whatnot that we want down here, all of the Botania flowers, anything we need that's farm related is going down here. Over there, we're not quite ready. I don't have quite everything I want, but we're probably gonna end up putting our reactor down here and mass storage down here. But as you can see, I need to build some more, and I don't have any more stone bricks, or I think what we're going to be using for the walls is the blackstone. I believe that's what's being used up top. I'm not sure. And eventually this will have maybe have some sort of a building rather than just out in the open. But yeah, polished blackstone bricks is probably going to be the walls. And yeah, or no, actually we're going to use granite for the walls. That's right. I want to match it to the floor of the thing. So we have the stone bricks and then the walls that I use. So down below is cobbled deep slate. We're going to use granite, probably polished granite, but I'll figure that out. And that will be the walls. Right, I forgot about that. That makes it a lot easier on me, and it is just normal granite. I don't know, is there polished granite walls? No, there's not polished granite walls. There's just the polished blackstone walls. Okay, well, regardless. So today we are going to work on a handful of things. One thing I want to do is I want to start getting a little bit of automation with our refined storage. And to do that, we're going to want a little bit more flux networks because they're really good. I also want to make an elevator because that's how we're going to get to the basement of that one. And I do have plenty of ender pearls. I was murdering some endermen between episodes, so I don't know if I have. Also, can I make things easily? I can transmute diorite andesite to granite. I can get diorite, yeah, so I can transmute. Otherwise I can use compactor, or I can make andesite. I can make diorite, which is awful. Anything that requires nether quartz is really bad. Something else I want to do today, so we're going to get some automation set up. We're going to get some better energy production. We're going to automate our reactor, and even though our reactor is small, it doesn't really matter. Might want to look into some sort of a energy cell, energy storage. I don't know what we have available to us. So we might not worry about that. I'll have to look into that later. But I want to automate the reactor. I want to get some auto crafting for refined storage stuff. And I also want to get a little bit more progress with, I want to get some better furnaces, and just in general more progress with Project E. Is that what this one's called? Yes. There's like 15 names for this mod. So let's get into it. First things first, let's make those elevators, and I think what we're going to have to do is go shear our sheep, which I should have some shears. And eventually I will start bringing everything over. And I started to say, the other thing that I want to do is I want to start working on, just kind of as we go, start completing the periodic table. There's a few elements that we can get, and I think we're going to try to get today. That should be pretty easy. It's just going to be a matter of doing it. So let's get some wool to begin with, so that we can collect, so that we can make some elevators. So we need 16 wool. That's going to be a little bit. We'll come back for that. Not a big deal. And let's go ahead and start by automating the uranium for our reactor. And to do that, we're going to need two things, and I want to actually upgrade one of the things. So we're going to want an energy collector. We currently have a Mark II. I want a Mark III. To make the Mark III, we need red matter, 2, and some glowstone. So red matter, Mark II, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to need 8 in total, so let's just get that. And this is pretty simple. It is going to produce a lot faster. That is the wrong thing. And I'm just going to go ahead and make another one. We're going to replace that, apparently. So let's grab all those diamonds out. And that will put us back to kind of good. And then the other thing we're going to need is an energy condenser. Can we make a better one? Is there a better one? There is a Mark II. It is very expensive. It requires multiple blocks of red matter and dark matter. So that one we're going to wait on. Honestly, we don't really need that. So let's just grab a normal energy condenser. And then we're also going to need a single piece of uranium, because that is the fuel for the reactor. And with all of that, we should be able to pretty quickly automate this. So rather than having this chest here, we're going to probably end up putting this downstairs. It's not ready yet to go down there, but we're going to do that. And I have checked that this does in fact work. And then that. And we put uranium there, and it will just relatively quickly start gathering up uranium. And then it will put it into the hopper. So we have, let's just take all 5 out. I'm not going to give it any kickstarts. I guess we could do this. I think this will work. So that's going to work a lot faster. And as you can see, it is working very fast, and this is filling up pretty quickly. So we have basically infinite power. Doesn't matter anymore. And the next thing that we should probably do is we should probably grab a what do I want? We should probably grab another one of these guys. So a flux point. Not something I had on the menu of things to craft, but a flux point is just redstone and flux cores. Kind of expensive, kind of annoying. I believe we have a little bit. I need to get a lot of inventory stuff sorted, which is what we're kind of working towards today. That is at least the idea. So we are going to need blaze powder, ender pearl, obsidian. We can get what all can we actually EMC that is this? So Just the obsidian, it looks like. Which we are going to need. So let's grab obsidian times 4. And I believe all the stuff we actually want is in here. I just need to make nothing. That is everything we need. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and do this. Also get the redstone. And we should be able to make the flux cores. And then the flux point. So now what we can do, our reactor, so the nice thing about is this bigger reactors. Okay. Figuring out what all these mods are called. This used to be called just big reactors. These things don't explode. As far as I'm aware, if they overheat, they just use fuel up faster. And, well, that's not going to be a problem for us. So what we can do is we can actually have this guy on permanently. Now, it doesn't require, it requires 5 FE per tick. This thing is producing 800. So it's not an issue of power generation. We can't use our refined storage all that well because of other reasons. Namely, storage. We only have a 4K. We have nothing in there right now. The storage is kind of the problem. So we're going to make some things to make that better. Plus we're going to make some auto crafting because auto crafting is fun and also super useful. So let's grab, we just need a few more pieces of wool. I think that's enough. Yes, that is enough. More than enough. Okay. So now, and I guess we can just do this right in here. Let's make 2 elevators. And elevators are super useful. Namely, we just kind of pop down here, put both of these like so, and now we can easily teleport. And these can also be directional. So I think I actually do want to do that. Go east, hide arrow. So whichever direction we're facing, we will always pop up this way. Whereas down here, I think if we face that, we can change which direction. Yeah, we can definitely change which direction we're facing. So that's fine. Okay. Another thing done. So what's the next thing I want to do? What's the next thing to do? The next thing I think we need to do, so we have the drawer controller. And what we're going to do with that is we are going to, I had said last time I was going to figure out pipes. That is probably still going to be how we will get all of the botany pots to put their items where we want them. And I actually want to see, let's do a real quick test. I believe we have, those are laser IO stuff. You know what, I'll do that test off camera. That's kind of more just to remind me. And what I want to do now is I want to make a crafter. So a crafter from refined storage is going to allow us to make auto crafting, which is really, really good. Now to use it, we are going to need a few more things that I kind of forgot about. We are going to need patterns, which require quartz enriched iron. That is awful. Nether quartz is just difficult for us to get. The only way we can get it is mining it in the nether, and that is awful. And then we're also going to want a pattern grid, which requires a grid. Oh man, I'm going to have to use up all my terra steel that I prepped. But that's okay. Do you have anything good? Actually, we're going to buy both of those dyes. And then we're going to decompose them. And that gave us copper chloride. Not interesting. Cadmium, that is interesting, and chromium. I think we had chromium. So this is just to get a few more elements. So let's just put all this stuff in there. And the next thing I want to do is, okay, let's sort our thoughts a little bit. Let's do this first. So I'm going to need to make some more TerraSteel. I want to go ahead and make the computer. So that requires nether brick, quartz enriched iron, which we have 2. Let's see, how many more can we get? Nope, that was the wrong thing. Alright, so there is the 4 of those. So I want to just go ahead and complete some quests. So the computer requires 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And go ahead and make one more batch of these because we don't need the TerraSteel itself. We need the whatchamacallit, the machine casings. So we need 8 nether bricks. And then the last thing we need is compressed stone, which I think unfortunately is in the other dimension. I don't even know if we have any right now. Reactor casings. Okay, let's just go back to Nothingness, and there should be some compressed stone here. If not, I will go make some. Okay, so I'm gonna go make some, and yeah, at some point I need to bring all this stuff over, but we're going to want an external storage as well. So I'm gonna get some stuff together. I'm gonna prep some materials, and I'll be right back once I'm ready to kind of do all the stuff we need to do. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I have a bunch of stuff together. So let's start this. So what we're going to do first off is we're going to make 2 machine casings. So we should have everything we need. We're going to make 2 of those, and we're going to turn them into machine casings with our enriched iron and nether bricks. I've seen this all before. And then we're going to use 1 to make a computer. And then that is all we're going to do with that until we upgrade it to a gold computer. And both of those are quests. I don't know if that unlocks anything else. Doesn't look like it, and there's no rewards, which is really disappointing. I wish this pack had more rewards. Be more rewarding. So the next thing that I want to make with the other machine casing, so we have those. Those are just quests for completion's sake. We need to make an external storage. So what this thing does is pretty simple. It allows you to connect another storage to your refined storage. Basically, if I put it to a chest, it would, instead of using the disk drive to store the items, it would see the chest as a place it could store items. Now, chest is boring, but what's really good is a drawer controller. So the idea is we're going to have a controller, like a drawer bank, and we're going to connect that to our refined storage system, and then we can store a bunch of items really easily because we have a ton of dirt and stone especially, and so that's going to be really, really good for us. So in order to make that, we are going to need, let's see, where is it? Destruction core, construction core, and improved processor. So that is why I have all of this stuff. So there is 2 raw basic processors and an improved processor. And before we actually do anything with that, excuse me, we're gonna get 8 of these dark matter blocks, and we're gonna get rid of this furnace completely, because we're gonna upgrade it to a dark matter furnace, and it is going to be a lot faster and a lot better. So we can even use other things, but it's pretty much instantaneous. And that is perfect because I want to take like 3 stacks of stone, and we can also store multiple things in there. And we're just going to make a bunch of stone. So for these processors, one is going to get nether quartz, the other is going to get glowstone, and we're going to require a cable. And all this together will make the external storage with some chest. So that is really important for making storage really nice for us. And basically, the big thing I want to do is I want to be able to start setting up a base that's actually halfway decent. Moving power around and all that kind of fun stuff, it's going to be good. So, whoops, wrong button. So the next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to make a crafter. This is going to allow us to do auto crafting. And one of the big things that we need to auto craft, other than patterns, actually, do we want to do that right now? I think we're going to wait on that for now, at least. Because what I wanted it for is things like, I don't know, a hopper botany pot. These things would be really nice to be able to just tell a system to make, and it makes it. But it's a little bit more expensive, especially on the nether quartz. That is something that we do not have access to. There is another way to get it, though. And is that something that we actually want to do? So we can use conjuration catalyst. That requires elementium and pixie dust, as well as an alchemy catalyst. Alchemy catalyst is something we can definitely do. But the elementium requires us to trade with the elves. So maybe that's something we'll get into soon-ish. I definitely think we have the mana production to do that, and it's not too terrible to do it in general. But it does take some setting up, and it requires more terra steel, which is great. So we're just going to keep some of this stuff for now. And I think what I want to do for the end of this episode is we're going to do a little bit of completing the periodic table. So the guy over there, the wandering salesman, traveling, whatever, the villager dude, he sold us some dyes that are good. And that's great. But we can do better to get more elements. And I have 3 elements that we can definitely make. So first is cobalt, which if we can get cobalt sulfate, comes from... No, not sulfate. What was it? Cobalt aluminate. Comes from 2 coral, but it also comes from just light blue dye. So we can get some light blue dye. That's not an issue. In fact, we might be able to use... can we use you? Yes, we can. So we can get some light blue dye for arsenic. Arsenic comes from arsenic sulfide, which also comes from corals, or pink dye. So we'll just get some pink petals. I am going to probably grow all of the mystical flowers, because why not? And then the last one is selenium, which comes from fish. Or we can get it from crimson fungus, which I believe we have. We should anyways. And if not, we can go get some very quickly and easily. Not seeing any. But that should be pretty easy to do. Let's go ahead and make sure we have some gold booties on. And we are just going to go ahead and run program, Crimson Nether, teleport. So we're just going to grab a couple of these guys, a couple of those guys, and it is super laggy there, so let's just go right back home, and then we just need to craft, you know, what does this dissolve into? Okay, that's not important. Phosphoric acid, mercury. Mercury might be one that we don't have. Do we have mercury? I thought mercury was over here. Oh, right there. We do have mercury. Okay. So I'm going to put these away. Let's get some pink dye. And we can pretty easily and quickly get selenium, arsenic, and cobalt. And I think we've gotten antimony. But there is a bunch of elements, and we can just dump them all in here. We'll learn all the stuff about them. It'll be great. And yeah, there is 3 things that we don't have to ever make. So what else can we actually get pretty easily? Bromine. We can dissolve from magma blocks, which we can get from magma cream, which is something that we can definitely get. So slime. Get a stack of slime and blaze rods. We can just get half a stack. Combine those together, we'll get magma creams, which gives us magma blocks, and then we can dissolve all those. So what's next? Krypton. Krypton is something that we'll have to do fusion with. Not going to worry about that today. Iodine. Iodine comes from dust, or lead iodine, which is yellow dye. Alright, I think we can do that. And that's pretty easy. So magnesium, iron, lead iodine, sulfur, fluorine, manganese, bromine. What is that? Aluminum oxide. So we can definitely get a lot of elements. And what I want to do is just kind of start working through all of the periodic table. What I'll probably end up doing is putting it onto the side, and then once we get them, we'll just go from there. So that is going to be it for today's episode. I have a lot of work to go do. I'm going to try to finish the basement of this area, probably take the reactor down there, as well as set up a bunch of all of the storage drawers, and hook that up to the system, and probably start working a little bit with the botany pots, getting those set up, and we'll go from there. So that's a lot of work for me to do. Next time, hopefully I'll have some more levels. We'll see. And then we'll just kind of see what we can get into. So that's the plan. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!